We're on the Zoltan Gera. 5 a.m. in the kitchen. Welcome to Gera Chat. Have you got any Gera? We've got plenty of Gera. We need to know that there's more coming so we don't run out of Gera. Yeah, that's that joke done to death. So, another episode. Culture
Another. We're back again.
We're back, baby.
We're back. And
to discuss another cult icon. We use that term.
The
The
Hungarian. How do you make like what's an alliteration? Hungarian.
No. Well.
A Hungarian head honcho.
Hey, that'll do. Yes. So, a West Bromsman. Who else did he play for?
Fulhamsman.
Ferencvarosman.
Pexman. We'll cover all that.
Budapestman. Yeah, but an old-fashioned winger, not too fast, not too fancy. Just loved fucking whipping him in.
Yeah,
he did.
Technical, like watching Aaron Ramsey for Cardiff yesterday, running the game. It was beautiful to watch. Yes, we drew 1-1 with Bristol City, but it was beautiful to watch. Yeah, proper. Yeah, I miss Salt. He's 45 as well.
It's only 45.
Still do a bit.
Do a bit.
Is he only 45?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, his career, we'll start as we do.
As we do.
At the very start, we have to take a trip back to 1997, of course, famed for Labour's landslide victory. we lost Princess Diana.
But we gained Zoltan Gera.
We gained Zoltan Gera and Channel 5 and the Teletubbies. What a monumentous year for British culture. But we go even further back than that from the start. In 1979, in Pécs, in Hungary, Zoltan Gera was born. And he was born with skilled feet.
Came out the womb.
Came out the womb doing kick-ups with both feet, left and right.
Now the landscape of Hungary at this point, Fionn, just to consult the history side. Just so I don't slip up again.
No, we're still in.
Where do we stand politically?
We're still communist this time.
Okay.
Still in the Warsaw Pact,
yeah.
I believe. Because it's one of the first ones to go in like. Is it? I don't know. Yeah, because you've got the famous 56 uprising, which was brutally put down. Yeah, and then fast forward 20 odd years, and then Zoltan Gera was born, obviously, a landmark occasion. And then you've got a few more years to the fall of the Berlin Wall. Yeah, so. Yeah.
But he doesn't witness that. He's sort of, that's
he's 10. No, he'd be 10.
Yeah.
He remembers.
He knows what's going down.
Zoltan, did you see David Hasselhoff perform on the wall? Do write in. Coming out the womb, keepy up in.
He didn't take him long for a club to sign him up. In fact, 1997 he made his professional debut for Pécsy Mexek.
Famously.
Yeah, where he made 71 league appearances, netting 14 goals over 3 seasons, prompting a move to Hungarian giants Ferencváros, where he played 115 league matches, getting 32 goals.
Ferencváros have one of the nicest grounds I've ever seen.
It looks stunning, doesn't it?
Tell us more about it.
It's outside Budapest bus station. You get off and you got out the bus and look to me like, oh, is that Aurora Borealis? No, it's Ferencváros's ground. And it's like a perfect, it's too nice for them, seeing as it's like a club riddled with Nazis.
Is that?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to ooge pest the apple cart, but if I was to
they are quite right wing, but I suppose your least right wing club in Hungary probably would be like, I don't know.
I hope you're taking notes, guys.
Club, yeah. So
okay.
So this
I don't want to make that mistake again. Don't want to make that mistake again.
Yeah, no. Big Lazio fan, James.
No, I hate Lazio. I genuinely do. When I went on a school trip to Italy.
But your heart goes out to them.
I mean, I could tell you about my phenomenal career mode with Roma on FIFA 12, but sponsored by Wind. But when I went on a school trip to Italy in 2013 in Rome, Lazio were playing a pre-season friendly, and a swathe of Lazio fans came rushing past the Spanish Steps where we were in the evening, and one of them where are you from? And we went, live like unless he knew Tranmere Road. He's like,
You are fucking wool. You are wool.
Merino wool.
You are willen. You are the wool. I don't know what this accent is.
Oh dear.
He went, come sta?
What colour is your fucking bin, la?
And I
It's
said,
a purple, no.
and there was a lot of Lazio graffiti actually on the
Yeah,
where
swastikas.
we were all under the Lazio territory. And he like collared me and went, he was Liverpool or Everton, and I went,
Tranmere Rovers.
I went, well, I've got to be honest. And I just said I'd say Liverpool, and he went, good. And then he walked off. But I thought he probably
Yeah,
said,
but I thought, because it'd be blue.
Yeah. But I thought as well with sort of I put whatever allegiances. I was like, let's just leave that conversation there.
Yeah, Liverpool, see you. Gotta go.
Not like that one particular vlogger who insists on supporting them despite.
I'm in the. That's great. That video. Like just some fucking 19-year-old idiot going. We're in the Munich beer hall, guys, and some Lazio fans waving there, just over there. Fucking hilarious. Yeah.
We didn't do that.
That's 2 Nazi salutes already.
We didn't do the beer hall on my stag, which I was a bit gutted about. But I did worry that if we went in there, someone would eventually
do some Nazi.
10 German bombers.
So enough of far right.
Back to
Well, we've done the fascists.
Back to Ferencváros.
In 2004, Zoltan came into our hearts by joining West Bromwich Albion. Before that, he had, with Ferencváros, secured 2 Nemzeti Bajnokság titles,
of course,
and 2 Magyar Kupa victories in 02, 03 and 03, 04. Before we go on to, the meat in the sandwich
of the
Zoltan Gera's career over in the UK. You might notice we're wearing an array of football shirts today. There might be teams you like, there might be teams you support. James, who are you wearing today?
I'm wearing a 94-95 Halifax Town away shirt.
As you do.
Which compared to their new badges, this badge is a lot better. However, the motto says, accept the Lord, keep the city, but it says accept as in like accept.
EX, yeah.
So that should be
keep the city, but not the Lord.
Comma, accept the Lord, comma.
Like a Lionel Hutz badge.
Keep this. Yeah, no, money down. But it's a lovely shirt. This made by Beaver, who I don't think are in business anymore.
Beaver, if you're still going and watching a podcast,
send us your Beaver.
Yeah.
Send in your Beaver and we'll review it.
But if you remember any retro sports brand from that era and you've got any shirts from them, like your Ribeiro, your Pony, your Spal, then do, not to be confused with the Italian Serie B team, but do send them in because this is a lovely number and it reminds me of Wimbledon, purple and green from.
It's very Harchester United.
Yes, like a bottle of Highland Spring.
You look like you only drink pale ale.
Mike, is that yeah, I do. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, as soon as I put it on, you look like you're. Hey guys, I'm we're all out of smash.
Scoring a schooner.
Yeah, we're all out of smash burgers, I'm afraid. But
I'd love to see Schooner scoring a schooner in Halifax, just asking for 3/4 of a pint
down the Shea.
Yeah,
Does it still come to play at the Shea?
No, I've been to Halifax's ground recently. It's one of them new shitholes. Like,
what, used to be next to that science centre.
Schooner scorer at Notts County, just sort of him, just some. I'm here at Notts County. Schooner scorer here, and it's just like a pint of warm. What the fuck you doing, mate? Review the pint. Get out of my way.
Don't bully me.
Don't bully me.
Don't bully me.
But yeah, guys, I've just opened a new smash burger joint. My guy Alex,
we're exploring the historical context of fireplaces within restaurants.
My guy Alex has got a sick jackfruit burger. You've got to try that.
For all your pre-match meal needs.
Yeah. Do you think? Actually, before I go on to this, you are looking resplendent, Mike, in a lovely
York City.
I thought it was 1860 Munich at first, but
no, it's a York City shirt from when we were crap.
Software.
Blue Square.
When we were
Premier
crap,
era.
famously.
Yeah, now we're good and 2 points behind top with the game in hand at the time of filming. We're all right, but yeah, this is it's just a time. It might have even been before that. I can't remember. My memory's bad, but yes.
Phoenix Software. I imagine they're gone.
Yeah, I don't even know what they
Risen
were when they were risen from the ashes. hopefully like York City are going to do soon. But yeah, me one appearance for the year and me blue York City shirt.
We touched on.
I'm wearing the same thing as I did last week.
Yeah, Fion's wearing exactly the same clothes as
definitely
last
not
week.
the same day.
It's not the same day. This is a Tuesday.
Do you think the name is important in terms of where they rank Barclaysman wise?
Oh, definitely.
We've had Pascal Chimbonda, Zoltan Gera.
Yeah.
These are names that are
roll
like,
off the tongue.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
I think
Peter Odemwingie.
Yes.
Morton Gamps Pedersen.
But then, like Matty Taylor doesn't inspire.
it was the start of these
Well, he is
random
But like Gary
random
Taylor
footballers
Fletcher,
coming over. You had foreign players coming over at the end of the 90s with your Ginola's, Bergkamps and things. They were always the top end of the foreign footballers. But then in the mid to early 2000s, you could say, they started bringing in, when teams like West Brom come up, they get a Hungarian in, they get a French lad, they get squadsmen from all over the world, and that's when we started seeing. So that's why these players now to us, they were like nothing signings. They could have had a player just as good on the right wing as Zoltan Gera, do you know what I mean? But these players came over. There were
nobody can play on
nothing
the wing
players.
like
He is joining a team with Jeff Horsfield with a name that sounds like a council official from Rotherham. That is sort of like the last.
Disgraced MP.
Yeah, Jeff, the former MP Jeff Horsfield, proper scandal. Francis Jeffers, like you are reaching the end of that. Like they both sound like they were top league scorers in 1958.
Yeah.
Well, he did obviously join West Brom in 2004
on the Zoltan,
joining a West Brom squad and becoming the 5th of 5 foreign players in the squad. One of the last full British.
Before woke, obviously.
The strikers, Jeff Horsfield, Robbles, Kevin Campbell, Carnu and Rob Earnshaw.
I'm sorry. That alone
is
one of the best strike forces ever.
ever. Robbles and Jeff Horsfield.
Horsfield, Carnu.
Yeah, this is back in the day when like everyone had like 6. Now you only, because usually most teams only play one up front now.
Yeah.
So, but like back in the day, everyone had like 6 strikers in the team.
And only one of them strikers got more than 5 goals, and that was Rob Earnshaw. The only one that wasn't a big lump up top type of thing.
I remember distinctly, I think it might have been Mark Hughes at City, or maybe it was Harry Redknapp or someone. Can't remember. But they said, we've only got 4 strikers. I remember that in an interview.
Play one.
Distinctively.
Only. It's probably mentioned before, but if any pub quiz fans out there, Robbie Earnshaw, only person ever to score a hat-trick in... Is it a hat-trick or a goal? No, a hat-trick.
Scored at every level. Scored a hat-trick in every level of British football.
Every
and
level,
the cups. Yeah.
cup and for country.
That's fucking pretty good.
So there you go, Robbie. That's a 5-a-side team in itself. I mean, they've got no defence.
Hasn't his son got a really stupid name?
He plays...
George.
Right, I'm sure it's a very stupid name.
Well,
apologies to Rob.
He got 13 goals that season, and he wasn't much helped by the rest of the strike force. But the midfield didn't really contribute either.
Kieran Richardson?
Well, no. We start off with a
forward. It is weird, isn't it? Because I think everyone has the same image of West Brom seared into the brain. Kieran Richardson on someone's shoulder.
I associate that day more with Jeff Horsfield.
Timo Baldwin.
He was there, by the way, Kieran Richardson.
Escaping relegation on the last day.
Yeah.
Kieran Richardson on shoulders.
The midfield squadron was Ricardo Skimica, former ageing defender, Jason Kumas, Jonathan Greening, York City.
Borough as well.
Although he's got a frosty relationship with him nowadays. Come back, Jono. Andy Johnson of Under the Cosh fame. Very funny episode on that, to be fair. Zoltan Gera, Richard Chaplow.
Proper Baldwin.
He walked so John Joe Shelby could run. Kieran Richardson, Lloyd Dyer, Ronnie Walwick.
Ronnie Walwick.
Of course, of prison fame.
He's another sounds like he could be before the war.
Yeah.
Fucking
Ladies and gentlemen,
he played in 63.
The brilliant Ronnie Walwick.
But he was
just got back from his sentence for racial abuse. It's Ronald Walwick.
He was stabbed in a nightclub in 2006. Ronnie Walwick.
Oh God.
He was talking on his mobile in 2008 in his BMW.
That's always like.
What's this? Well, in 2010, whilst staking out the 10 Arches scrapyard in Clayton, Manchester, police on Operation Solomon, who were attempting to track down a gang of armed robbers who had shot a Tesco security guard in Preston, noticed that Walwick...
Shot a Tesco security guard in Preston.
Noticed that Walwick had his own entirely separate criminal enterprise. In January,
Ronnie Wall works.
Yeah, January 2011, Walwork was charged with concealing criminal property in connection with offences to stolen cars. Yeah. And then in 2021, he pled guilty to inflicting grievous bodily harm.
Oh, well.
Yeah, so he's had a...
Please welcome our guest of the week. It's Ronnie Wall. Fresh from Strange.
I can't hardly remember him playing a game, but he got 20-odd
Played for
games that
United,
season.
didn't he, Ronnie Wall?
He did play for United, yeah. Played 20-odd times that season for Brom.
Oh, is this Gera? Is the person we're talking about? Yeah.
No, that was Ronnie Walwork. Yeah.
On my list, the Hawthorns. I know every ground. I want to try and go to every ground, but Hawthorns is at the top at the minute. Ironically, because it is the highest ground above sea level.
Is it really?
Yeah. But
it is.
I've got a couple of mates who are
the mountains of Birmingham.
West Brom fans. Is it?
It is Birmingham. Yeah.
Is it not Black Country?
It's the same thing.
I don't know the difference.
I think that's like so Black.
No, Wolves is Black.
I'm sorry, I'm not very good on British geography.
Is West Brom the nearest one to Wolves?
Yeah.
West Brom's
right. Because I think that might be the equivalent of like Wool Scouse thing.
If you're from the Black Country, sounds dodgy out of context. Do let us know.
Yeah.
There's a player in so the back four for West Brom at that time. They only had 6 defenders in the entire squad, but there was pace. Was not a thing they were after. They had Paul Robinson, the big chunky left back, Darren Moore, Darren Pearce, Thomas Gardzo, Martin Albrechtsen, and Neil Clement. Now, that's a question to ask you, Per, because you're younger than me. Do you remember Neil Clement?
Not really.
Right.
Darren Pearce played
there's a certain age of people that will remember Neil Clement. He was when West Brom were in the Championship, and back me up anyone who's older. He was the best free kick taker. He was the Peter Whittingham of that era in the early 2000s.
I remember
Darren
Pearce vividly because I
Cardiff played for Cardiff against Liverpool in League Cup final.
It was either sticker book or match attacks, but whatever it was, every single fucking packet I bought, Darren Pearce would be there. I had about 700 fucking copies.
He played for
Darren Pearce. I had a wallet full. Ironically,
he played for every club around. He played for Birmingham. He played for West Brom, Cardiff, Sheff Wednesday, Millwall, Yeovil, Plymouth, Port Vale, IFK, Marionham, Cheshire United, Welling, Staines, Rushden and Diamonds, Leyton Orient, Oxford. He had 689 appearances he made.
Fucking hell!
Wow,
he must have some purse.
Right, well, Zoltan
Gera,
his performances caught the attention of West Brom when he was first there. Made 135 league appearances, scoring 21 goals, and he was instrumental in helping the team gain promotion back to the Premier League in 07-08. But he didn't stay up with them. He joined, which I thought was very much earlier, just like we mentioned on the last episode with Jimmy Bullard. 2008, he joined Fulham to lead them to a glorious UEFA. Was it UEFA Cup or Europa League?
They made the Europa League final in the 09-10 season.
09-10 season, yeah.
He played in the final as well.
Yeah, he was a key figure in that run.
He, I mean, that's
scored twice against Juventus.
Brett Hangeland, Chris Bird.
Don't worry, I've got the squad up, James.
But
don't you worry.
They beat Juventus. They
did, yeah.
Who else? Was it Porto or Milan maybe as well?
They beat FK Vetra from Lithuania. Let me just see if the teams jump out on the page there.
John Pantsil.
Yeah, we're on teams, but that's fine.
Sorry.
So they played Vetra, they played Amkar Perm, they played CSK Sofia, Basel Roma, Sofia again, Basel Shakhtar, Juventus, Wolfsburg, Hamburg, and Atletico Madrid in the final.
Oh yeah, because if Hamburg would have played the home final.
Was it a Forlan hat-trick in the final?
I cannot remember the final for this. But the squad that they had, Pantzer was there, Mark Schwarzer, your dad, Fionn.
My dad.
Stephen Kelly, Paul Konchesky, future Liverpool hero, of course, Breda Hangeland, Chris Baird, Nicky Shorey, can't remember that too well, Andy Johnson, Stefano Okaka, who's still going and still reasonably young. Eric Neveland, who was... he was on the bench for Man United throughout the late 90s. Zoltan Gera, David Stockdale, York City, was in goal last season, part of the ownership structure. But not there anymore. Danny Murphy.
Yeah. Danny Murphy, yeah.
The most miserable man ever.
Always one of them names to chuck
in. What was it? It was either, I think it was a 2022 World Cup or maybe, yeah. I made the pub switch over from BBC to ITV because fucking
Murphy
Murphy
was on
and Genus were on commentary on the World Cup final.
No.
Fuck off. No chance.
I go ITV. Sorry, just
You're all right.
I'm so sorry. But
He's
because
passionate
of my
about this one.
rigid cranial structure. I have to go. If televised, I prefer an ITV daytime group game.
Right.
An ITV evening game, dependent on who the pundits are, but more often than not, I will choose BBC international tournament wise. I think
This international tournaments or European coverage.
There's now no worry of Genus because of sexual impropriety.
What about when it comes to European football? I know we touched briefly on it before on episodes. So are you a man of ITV Champions League, Sky Sports Champions League? I personally like Thursday nights in September. UEFA Cup games.
Wind and Fire.
Yeah, Wigan versus
I really miss the ITV.
Budapest. You
get your hair dry.
You have a bath, you pop to shipping for scraps. Then what you do?
Family affair.
Come back from good Champions League about.
You go to phone box at Hendrick Street. We only had one in them days. You have to ring it up and say Lee Dixon on commentary.
The theme tune would last longer because they do the sponsored by Amstel.
Yeah.
And PlayStation.
And Continental Tires. And Gazprom. And, all of them.
Don't worry.
And don't forget MasterCard.
Yeah. And you could choose, even when Sky got it and you could choose the 8 games on the red button was like, still. But ITV, for me, Tilsley. That's the thing as well, since Tilsley's absence of international.
I don't know, because, and it goes underrated, but obviously for many, many years, we had him in the years on Robot Wars, but Jonathan Pearce on Thursday nights on Channel 5 was the best for me. Over Tilsley, over anything. Jonathan Pearce, I don't know. Live football with Jonathan Pearce is comment on it.
I met Jonathan Pearce once in Piccadilly Station.
I met Guy Mowbray.
We had a good chat about it was when Tony Pulis was managing Borough, and had a good chat, and I hid my feelings expertly for Pulis because he said, "What do you think about Pulis?" I went, he's all right. And then, we're actually good, close personal friends. Well, thank God I didn't say what I actually think then. And about the style of football, I've come to love Pulis, and when he's not managing, when I'm not paying £30 a time to watch that shit. And then, and then as soon as I got on the Metrolink away from Mr. Jonathan Pearce, I then realised, fucking hell, forgot to ask him about Robot Wars. So I'm gutted about that.
Yeah. Has anyone started a podcast on Robot Wars?
I would love to
spin off. James, give me a shout.
Razorsman. Chaos 2's
Chaos 2. George Francis. Used to pilot that.
Anyway,
the fella off the famous YouTube man abroad in Japan was on it with his dad.
Yeah, Joe Thomas from the In-Betweeners.
Was he really?
He was part of a team that operated Tracy.
Wow. Back to the 9-10 Fulham squad.
Zoltan Gera.
From the Arena 4 flipper.
From Sir Kill-a-Lot to Sir Cross-a-Lot.
Oh, yes, please.
Now, one of the best Iranians to grace the Premier League, Andronic Teymourian, was part of that squad. Damien Duff, John Arna's brother Bjorn Helge Riise, Aaron Hughes, Pascal Zuba Bula, Dixon Atuhu, Frederick Stewart, Clint Dempsey, Bobby Demora, Chris Smalling, Jonathan Green in York City, Simon Davies, Kagisho Dikashwai, and David Elm. But they talk.
David Elm.
I'm just looking at David Elm. Who the fuck? They talk about the strain of football on the modern footballer, right? This season, Mark Schwarzer played 60 games.
Fuck me.
I don't know how old he was then. Breda Hangeland played 52. Chris Baird played 52.
Chris Baird.
Zoltan Gera played 50. Danny Murphy 41. Damien Duff 50. Aaron Hughes 56. That's because they started in the early rounds of the UEFA Europa League and went dead far. 50 games in a season.
You know, Aaron Hughes,
and he still got right to the very final game they could.
Aaron Hughes is the fourth most appearances of a non-English player in the Premier League.
Does he really?
Yeah. Which is mental because he just played every game.
He's also an MBE.
He's just played he's Northern Irish, which is
for
why
his services to football.
But
one of the last sort of teams as well to kind
Northern Ireland doesn't exist, by the way. But anyway, it's North of Ireland. But moving on. Moving on. Zoltan IRA.
Then he got his big move.
Sligo Rovers.
So yes, he was at Fulham 08 to 11. Key figure in that Europa League run.
Lovely kit as well.
Lovely kit. Yeah.
A lot
the
can be
LG.
said. Nike in that time period, lovely, just very simple designs. Can't go wrong with a lovely.
I always think white kits are a bit shit anyway.
Do you?
Yeah, they get dirty very easy.
I love their away kit, which is essentially just like an AC Milan shirt, Fulham's, but it looks really nice.
Was this Pipex era?
No, this was LG, because the year after they had one of their worst seasons ever. They just about stay up, I think. And they had a yellow third kit.
The LG's actually, that's a good shout. Fucking. If Fulham didn't also have Pizza Hut, that'd be the best sponsor, I think.
Yeah, I think it suited the kit right well.
It really
as well.
did. Yeah, you can tell, can't you, where like some sponsors blend in really well, and some are just literally copy and pasted onto the shirt. Like, I think it's Harrogate Town who've got plain yellow and black, and they've just got a massive fuck off red sponsor. You
never get you very rarely get a good lower league sponsor though, because it's usually like it's just something fucking massive in it, some big horrible.
Yeah.
The only one I like is Walsall's Poundland.
Yeah, and it's a Poundland Stadium as well, isn't it?
Rainham Steel, I like that.
And also, it's very sort of just like they're called the Saddlers, and the manager is Matt Sadler, which is just a bit ridiculous, isn't it?
You always pass Walsall's ground if you go
on Birmingham,
They beat Juventus.
Gera scored twice.
Yeah.
And then he made the move back to West Brom. Stellar career for a lad who was brought up in his teenage years in a gang. Did you know? He was in a gang in Hungary. He used to go around dealing drugs and smashing up windows, and football was his outlet.
Jesus Christ.
And I'm just unfortunate enough to stumbled across that article during recording rather than before, because that would have been a great one. But yeah, it looks like he was a bit of a shithouse really when he was a kid.
What was he up to?
Right, let's have a quick look here. In the days leading up to the Europa League final, Gera opened up about his past in several interviews. Speaking about due to the evening standard, he remarked, "I'm so lucky to not be in jail for doing bad things." Or even worse, dead.
Oh dear.
Gera had detailed his teenage years marred with alcohol, drug abuse and gambling.
That was just in the changing rooms with Ronnie Warwalk. Warwalk.
Oh, yeah.
That'd have been funny if I didn't fuck that up.
His father was a postman, mother worked in a brewery and with respectful school grades. It wasn't until he saw the older boys in school hallways he began his years of drink and drugs, which would then lead to his dropping out of school, skipping training sessions. Soon enough, in his early teens, he formed a gang with his friends, going around smashing windows for the sake of it, with the goal of becoming a feared and respected gangster
Barclaysman.
In the town he was from. But if he wasn't out smashing windows in his early years as a teenager, he was found in the local casino.
What a bloke.
He was able to get into the back door as he bonded with the security guard on the back.
A fucking 11-year-old Zoltan Gera on the blackjack.
Yeah, and by the time he was 16, he'd nearly had enough and given up on school and football and gambling by the age of 16. Oh. But then, he went on to a stellar career.
If you've given up on football and gambling at 16, nothing to live for.
Whereas you've got Gary Neville, who's had to be like, I had to say goodbye to my friends at 15.
Yeah.
This lad's running an underground operation here.
This lad was your stereotypical Hungarian drug dealer. Probably looked a little bit like one from the lower half, Gebo Kirai, running around the streets. He's just rough as a bear's ass, bless him. But he made it all the way to the Hawthorns and then Craven Cottage.
And then you had experience with Hungarian currency.
Yeah. Sorry, here we go. What the hell?
It's really unique, isn't it? Because it's got a hole in the middle.
Has it really?
It's got holes in the middle of the coin.
You wear it on your necklace so it doesn't get robbed.
It's like arcade money. Sorry.
So in 2011, Zoltan made the move back to West Bromwich Albion. It was a different landscape there when he returned.
He'd had the groundsman in.
A landscape that included Somen Choi, Jonas Olsen, Keith Andrews, Martin Fulop, Gonzalo Yara, Nicky Shorey again, Yusuf Malumbu, Gareth McCauley, Peter, the Starman, Odin Wingy, Billy Jones, Gabriel Tamas, Marc-Antoine Fortuné, Paul Sharner, of course, went there as well. Remember Roman Bednar?
I scored a cracking goal with him on FIFA 11.
Wow.
Like last year, because I can't forget the past.
Now there's a player, remember, obviously, underratedman that happened in the Premier League, and you talk about kind of like Jason Koumas's, but Graham Dorrans.
Yes.
He seemed to always pop up, didn't he? Like, I reckon we could have an episode on Dorrans, because if he was from Hungary, he'd definitely go down as a... He had a magic touch, he had ping a free kick, and he was a great footballer.
Gabo Dorangi.
when did Steve Clark come in? Because I think West Brom finished like 8th or 7th.
So that season,
pre-Bodog.
That season was pre-Bodog.
Pre-Brewdog.
That season was Roy Hodgson and Peter Odemwingie was the top scorer.
Wow.
Finished 10th, like.
Yeah.
11-12.
And the club introduced the Baggies Brick Road outside the east stand of the home ground, the Hawthorn. Supporters were given the opportunity to purchase personalised bricks to add to the walkway.
Oh.
The first bricks were laid by Adrian Charles and Frank Skinner, the only celebrity West Brom fans possible.
Yeah.
They've shipped them two out for everything,
every
don't
fucking
they?
game.
Joe Lyser.
Yeah. Is he a West Brom fan, is he?
Yeah. Trying to think of my mate Will from uni.
Oh, well, that's a stellar
I
lineup.
wonder why he didn't get to lay a brick.
Have you ever done that? I don't. I quite like to do that at Anfield, but I think the opportunity's passed now. But
What? Put a brick in.
Yeah,
on the pavement.
I did it for my granddad, but didn't want
Yeah.
to put my name in it. Also, I'd like to call out a restaurateur who I helped fund his pub, and he said you could have your name on the brick. Still not there.
Well,
Yeah.
it's still a bare brick.
Yes, it is. But I think that's quite nice. I think stuff like that should happen more often. And then
Sorry.
no, it's all right. Here you go.
Yeah. Did Gera play in the 2016 Euros?
He did.
He did.
He did. We've got the man on it.
We've not even discussed his, because his goal he scores is a bit like the one he scores against Liverpool, unfortunately, which, as sad as it was, is one of the best goals I've ever seen, where he sort of chests it down, top corner.
UEFA Euro 16.
Now, 2016, in hindsight, is probably one of my favourite tournaments, I think.
I think it's definitely mine, because Ireland did all right.
Yeah. You had 4 of the 5 home nations.
Robbie Brady.
So you had 4 of the 5.
He loves that man.
You had 3 of the 4 home nations and Ireland. Apologies, let me correct myself. And Robbie Brady scores
against Italy.
Yeah.
Insigne at the post. He was my favourite player at the time. Insigne, and I thought he'd scored against me, but he hit the post on purpose.
That's when Jim McDonald went over with the Northern Ireland fans and got progressively more sunburns. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so it was the first, because that probably allowed, because they expanded the format to 24 teams, and the final group, I think it was like Portugal, Hungary, I want to say Czech Republic or someone else, and Portugal v Hungary in a free thriller, where I think Hungary maybe go 3-1 up and then Ronaldo claws it back. But that Hungary team, Gabor Kiraly in goal.
Yeah.
One of my favourite players of all time, and a FIFA stalwart, really, Balas Juszak. Unbelievable. And Zoltan Gera pulling the strings.
Maybe Akos Bozaki was there at the same time.
Scores one of the... It is pretty much similar to the one at... his chest must be... like a granite kitchen worktop. Like, it is literally... he just takes all the way out the ball. We were saying this about Suarez on the car idea of just like... if you try to first touch a football, it is hard. Much like the throw-in episode.
I've taken throw-ins. Unless,
you're like me and haven't got flat feet and aren't size 11. To be able to... Just the way he brings it down. It's just a phenomenal goal. And then, Balacic scores and it ends up being 3-3. However, had Hungary won that game, Portugal drew all their games, which this is the bad thing about expanding formats like the Euros. Portugal drew all of their games, which then got them through, and then they end up...
Yeah, they didn't win a game in 90 minutes, did they?
Well, in that game...
But I think he'd be like the most fucking pointless answer of a Euro goal scorer. Eder.
I
don't know. I
don't know if this still counts, but I've just found this hidden within his Wikipedia. But Gera scored a 25-yarder in the game against Portugal.
Yes, that's the one.
In doing so, became the second oldest goal scorer and the oldest goal scorer to score from open play in the Euros.
So he'd have been 37, 38.
Something like that. He was back at Ferencváros by this because in 2014 he did return, you could say home, but back to his second club.
But at that time, they hadn't made a tournament.
No, it was rare to see them there. Yeah, and obviously they got a strong, fine football heritage as well.
Yeah. They've made subsequent Euros since, but that one was like, great Hungary in it. Like these, you always adopt the national team that you like. Like Macedonia at Euro 2020 was like, Aliossi's gonna score a worldie. Goran Pandev's up front for them. He's 47.
The man who's no one's had a longer longer receding hairline than him. Should have gone in fucking 2004. That just clung on.
He stayed at Ferencváros until 2018, until the time came for the curtain to come down on the illustrious career of the Hungarian. He finished off 89 games, 15 goals for them, and he added another league title in 15-16. Got 97 caps for Hungary, 26 goals for them, and he captained them during Euro 2016, where he scored the stunning half volley against Portugal, which was later voted goal of the tournament.
Hey,
so he's got some Euro-based stats that will go down in time forever off one tournament.
Lovely shirt.
Fair play, Zoltan.
Yeah, and then their shirt kit reflects the flag as well. The red shirt, white.
That most of them tend to.
Well, no, some don't. Some don't. Some don't.
So, well, yeah, like you're right. Italy's is blue.
Yeah. Japan blue.
But that's the royal colours, though. That's why.
Okay.
He didn't take well when he moved over to England. Him and his missus could not understand the winter over here, and that they had to play. I know. Yeah,
cold there.
Yeah, he couldn't
come
understand.
Come over here, disrespect our winters.
He's accustomed to winter breaks, and this was a new experience for him. And he humorously recounted that when he arrived in Birmingham, he and his wife were like newlyweds on a honeymoon, finding it challenging
everywhere.
to adjust to the busy holiday match schedule.
Cadbury's factory, was it?
Let's go to Bourneville, love.
And obviously, we touched just prior before, he's had a tough life, drugs, drink, gambling, nearly ended his career, but he turned it round, turned into a stat maker at the Euros.
Drugs, gambling, West Brom. Sounds like my weekend.
He puts this down to his religion. He was a member of the Faith Church and was featured in billboard advertisements promoting the organisation. He's often defended the church from its critics and promoted it several times in the media. He credits the church with saving his life, helping him change his destructive lifestyle, which included crime and drug abuse.
Speaking of adverts, he was also in, as well as advertising the Faith Church, which, what religion is that?
It sounds Protestant to me.
Evangelical, charismatic, Pentecostal Christian denomination, which has over 100.
There's a mega church in Hungary.
Utter Protestant
Anybody fancies an away day to the mega church, Faith Church in Hungary, Budapest, I think, they'll be up for that.
In 2005, Gera featured in a television advertisement, just say TV advert, for Pepsi.
For Pepsi Cola.
For the Pepsi Cola Corporation, all rights reserved, 1874.
Representing the 2006 World Cup, which Hungary didn't qualify for.
No, they didn't.
Alongside, this is...
How did he get this gig? How did he get this?
You can forgive him. I've got to read you a name. Alongside Thierry Henry.
Yep. Fair enough. Yeah.
David Beckham.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Roberto Carlos.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Ronaldinho.
Fair
Obviously.
enough.
Yeah.
Raul.
Fair enough.
Nicholas Bentner. Denmark didn't qualify.
Going down a little bit.
And Neil Ruddock. What are you doing here?
How and why? How?
Yeah,
why is he there?
who should just clearly money ran out there. Oh fuck! We've spent it all on Henri, Carlos, Raul.
Dear.
Who should we get in? Fucking Razor
But
Ruddock.
still, for Ruddock, in 10 years, from
why is he on a Pepsi advert in 2000?
But that's big money for a Pepsi advert. 10 years' time, he's getting his arse washed on League of Their Own. That's mental to have players in it who
I mean, why are they picking Gera? This is he's got hell of an agent. You should have got him a better club, but you got him a Pepsi advert.
Unless he was a double. His foot was used.
Zoltan's actually too busy to make an appearance. We're just gonna.
Because there's obviously the iconic one is there's the Western one, isn't it, where they're all cowboys and it's gigs and.
What advert was it? Should we?
We should have a look at it.
We'll tweet it out.
And then there was the one with the Roman Colosseum where Beckham's in the gladiatorial guard. Might not be sure this one. There was a great one in 2010 where Shakira does what's this song? What's the Shakira one?
Waka Waka.
Waka Waka.
But
the Kaká.
Waka Waka was actually, ironically, the beginning of the Tiki Taka era. So think about that.
Kaká and Drogba and Lampard.
Kaka
are in a field playing football, but the fans around them resemble a pitch and they move.
Oh.
And after that, they sort of stopped doing it really, which is a shame because they sort of had a chokehold on World Cup based advertising. If you can think of any other, I mean, don't think Coca-Cola might have done one as well. But to have Zoltan, to have someone, to be like, do you want to be in a World Cup advert?
No, I'm not there, mate.
We
but
haven't
Well,
qualified because we've been beaten by.
do you want to be in a World Cup advert with Neil Razor Ruddock?
Well, it's excellent marketing. They're getting spoken about 10 years later on a podcast.
Unless they split the budget on.
Yeah, because someone at Pepsi, I love that.
On the
Hang on,
phone,
guys. Who have we got? Sorry.
Yeah.
I think Zoltan Gera is the one
Do you
that's
know
going
what
to change
this advert needs?
Yeah.
Nicholas Bentner.
It needs a former drug addict from Hungary.
And a centre-back whose reputation off the field is more famous than his fucking performance on it.
Well, yeah, I'll never get over Neil Ruddock. If anyone has any idea why Neil Ruddock was on a Pepsi advert in 2004, never mind Zoltan, let me know. But let's wrap Zoltan. Let's wrap up the Gera.
Wrap up the Gera. Sell it for 50.
Outside Hawthorns.
In a pair of grey tracksuit bottoms, smashing windows up for no reason. We are doing a Gera with 526 total club appearances, 9 short of 100 career goals, 97 games for the Hungarian national team, with 26 goals there and a captain and some records in the bag as well at Euros. Ladies and gentlemen,
Zoltan Gera.
There we go.
I thought you were going to say then about the appearances stats. I think it's like really annoys me when someone's ends the career on 99.
Yeah, just play one more game.
Yeah, one more game.
Well,
John Hartson is like 399 appearances.
I'd have gone on personally for 9 more goals,
Yeah.
even if it was playing for Dog and Duck.
What classifies a testimonial? Got to be over.
Yeah, it's 10 years at one club.
Okay, right.
Well, it used to be because the testimonial used to be to give the players funds after they retired, wasn't it? Nowadays the PFA take care of a lot of that, but that used to be their little retirement fund to go on a little 2 weeks in Barbados at end of your football career, testimonials.
I think Gera, my final 2 cents is that he's someone who, once you establish that kitchen chat and you mention your Chimbondas, you mention your Pedersens, once you get to Gera, he's the one that whenever I've mentioned him in conversations, people do go, like people.
He's a
backflip celebration, free kicks.
He didn't score a lot, but the goals he scored.
Here's a
were
question
belting.
for you then, James, to add into your final 2 cents to make it 3. do you think, and it's an easy question to ask about any players, but with this one in particular, the skill set he had and the career that he had with the chances he had, do you think he was underrated?
Absolutely.
Do you think he could have gone on and done?
Yeah,
played for a top 6, as they call them, club or a higher standing club or a European competition club?
Yeah, I think he made that move to Fulham, and it was kind of like an upwards trajectory, really, getting to Europa League final.
He never really got the big move.
Yeah,
did he?
you could have seen him maybe going to when City was snapping up everyone left, right, and centre. That screamed of a City move, that early City where they were just getting players left, right, and centre.
Ilano, Giovanni,
Joe.
and Joe,
maybe
and Zoltan Gera. What a team!
Yeah.
Martin Petrov and Gera on the wings.
Oof.
Would you have had him in Liverpool?
I don't.
Him and Raul Morales.
I think he actually does scream of a Roy Hodgson era kind of signing.
Yeah.
Paul Konchesky coming in, Paulson, that awful team with that awful Adidas kit. Yeah, I think I could see him in that team. I'm surprised they didn't bring him from Fulham actually.
Yeah. I think massively.
Don't disparage Zoltan anyway. With
Right.
your silly Liverpool.
Time for
chat.
you lot to go to bed.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we've tucked you in. Have a bit of Gera. Good night.
God bless.